All right, it's now being recorded for Hunter. Hunter, you missed the most exciting first 20 minutes of any D&D game. Sorry, man.
And a lengthy discussion about mortgage rates. So
Yes, 1.75%.
Arranged by Strahd.
Sorry, what was the question?
anything about the mines of Phandelver, whether there is anything useful that we can pass along to the dwarves?
Yeah, there's quite a bit. The dwarves may already know it, but that was the Hoppin' place 500 years ago, when it was a conglomeration of gnomes, dwarves, and humans that got together. They were mining this certain mineral that was really useful for making magical items. And it got overrun by orcs, and the humans and the wizards that worked there collapsed it in to keep the orcs from actually getting their hands on the valuable stuff behind the mines. But it's been lost. In the book you're reading, it's been lost for centuries and nobody knows where it is now. That's old news. One thing you were sort of interested in is the forge, especially forgy. It seems to be that the forge is sort of a very high quality normal forge. It's the elements that they mine there that are the key to making the.
So it's not like the fires of Mount Doom. We still may need to go find a genie to get the job done on the blaze, is what we learned.
Seems to be.
So Jay, is there a temple of the Night Raven or whatever? Sort of like, is that a big enough following that it would be in all the major cities?
Yes, in fact, all of your patron deities have temples in all the major cities. Yes, the Raven Queen, especially, it's like part funeral home, part temple. Again, I made a reference to the stranger from the Song of Fire and Ice books, if that means anything to anyone. The morally neutral god of death who also manages the funeral homes.
The other person the other place I guess I'd like to stop, depending on how much longer we have here in Silvery Moon, is the deity that Sister Gorel.
Yes. Avandra.
Avandra, who is also on my coin, I think. Maybe we could stop by that temple and let them know that something ill is perhaps befallen one of their acolytes, and whether or not they have any knowledge about why she would have been particularly interested in this fruit, or and I can show them this coin, and I have an interest in this particular deity.
Sure. Yeah. You walk in and you're welcomed as anyone is welcomed. When you show them the coin, they're extremely impressed that you have some sort of relic of their goddess. So you're sort of a VIP. They're aware that Gorel was missing. There's sort of been an APB at all the temples about her, so they know she's missing. They're hoping for the best. They think she just may have. Sometimes people just wander off. It happens. They're hoping for the best. They are concerned about her. They say, we know that the temple in Neverwinter is maybe organizing some sort of search. We know she's missing. Did that cover? What was the question?
I think that's more or less it. Maybe we'll stop by the temple in Neverwinter to find out more about what they're doing.
But you're definitely treated like a VIP because you have that symbol when you walk in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also noticed in the PowerPoint bracers of defense.
Oh yeah, Strahd was wearing those. And when his body turned to dust or whatever, those fell down, and we just didn't mention them last time. But that's what you got off Strahd's body.
So yeah, I guess I would like to investigate whether those are cursed or not.
Okay. Yeah, they're a temple. They're good at telling if things are cursed. They are not.
Okay. Well, maybe we can have a discussion about who that makes the most sense for. I do have a relatively low armor class, but I'm not the person who's in the mix most often either. So we should maybe have a discussion about.
Jay,
if you're wearing no armor.
Yeah, it really only you have to be wearing no armor.
Yeah, that would actually be quite useful for me because I have mage armor, and if I got a +2 bonus for that, that would help me a lot.
All right, what'd you say, Brenbrack?
How's two things, I guess. How is Janae looking this morning?
Oh yeah, she's looking fine. She's looking fine. Um, I don't know. Do you ask her what she did last night? And she stayed in her room last night, locked in.
Yeah, I do. I want to know what her secret is because I'm not feeling so great this morning.
Okay. She says, I mean, I turned into a wolf. That's what I did. I have control over my transformations. I've developed control over the past couple decades, but I've never actually tried to not be a wolf during a full moon. And I might have held it together, but I didn't. Or I'm glad I didn't have to. I'm glad I got to the room. And she says, as far as your situation, I've never seen somebody with the cure you got. Most people with lycanthropy, full moon comes, they transform. Now you're stopped from transforming, but clearly your body didn't like the sort of push and pull of the cure versus the curse.
Sounds like we need a cart with 3 big cages on it.
I'm not going in a cage.
We're just
Oh, delightful.
yeah, sounds great. So since everybody else wears armor, should I assume that
Everybody else does not wear armor.
Oh,
Yeah.
so who
Max
else does
doesn't
not
wear
wear armor?
armor.
Oh, so there's plenty of choices then, actually. All right. Well, we should
Yeah,
consider this
there are
more
several
carefully.
of you that don't.
Speaking of Jay, I'd like to go pick up the plate.
Oh yeah, you do. You go to the blacksmith and he's like, "Oh, there's the big guy. Yep, I got it.
There's the big
Yep.
guy.
Had to let a few things out of the seams, but he shows it to you. He says, the only thing I didn't have is a symbol on the chest. Do you want a symbol on the chest?"
Yes.
Yes. I
Yeah.
don't know what I want though.
An octopus.
An octopus? Yes.
Oh, I
Giant
was thinking
paintball.
platypus. I don't, yeah, okay.
That'd be pretty cool.
We'll do an octopus.
Do an
Like
octopus? All right. He says, give me 3 hours.
Angry
I've got a guy back there. He does great work. You'll love it.
Great.
Mhm.
Do you guys want to talk about the bracers of defense thing now, or should we save that for later?
Does he want to buy my chainmail for the next Goliath that comes through town? And
Yeah, he for the next, yeah, you're right. It's extra big. He says, he says for that, I don't know if I'd resell it. What I would do with that is sort of put it on display as a conversation piece.
sure. I'm just, I don't need to carry an extra suit of armor around.
No, you sure don't. He offers you 25 gold for that.
Sure.
Okay.
And
All right.
what did the other one cost me?
1,500.
1,500. All right. All right. Good thing we're crazy rich.
We got the dough.
Yeah.
We have to just keep defeating Strahd every couple weeks. We'll be good.
Yeah, in fact, some of that pain you felt last night might have been from carrying around the 50,000 copper pieces, Brambrack, that are in the sack over your shoulder.
It's in the bag of holding.
The bag of holding fills up.
Oh.
So yeah, you might want to exchange some of your money for something a bit more transportable.
Well, maybe I should have paid him in copper. I just paid him in gold.
just
Here's
showered
a
it
bunch of
on
pennies.
Here you go. Yeah, we'll say there is a bank if you want to exchange anything like that.
Okay. I'm going to remove the chainmail now and switch the plate mail.
Okay.
So who doesn't wear armor? So it's Thrax does not wear armor and Breezy does not wear armor. Is that right?
I have armor.
And Schmax. Thrax and
Yeah, I
Schmax don't.
I don't wear armor.
Oh, well, Schmax, maybe makes the most sense. What's your AC, Schmax?
It's now 19
Oh, because you're so wise.
because I'm so wise. My wisdom brought me up.
And what about you, Thrax?
15.
15. That sounds like that might be the right answer right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
But
also,
all his
I'm-
damage is cut in half a lot. I don't know.
I'm also at 15, but I'm not usually, unless I really piss off Strahd,
You're not toe to toe with.
the prime target. I mean, I guess that one time I had 4 vampires come after me. Saw how that worked out. But in general, Thrax, you can't wear armor, or is that a barbarian thingy?
Pretty much. I mean, I could wear armor, but all sorts of defenses and stuff just go. if I try that. There might be barbarians who Jay has fought with in previous campaigns who do wear armor, but it's just not done.
Yeah, it's sort of a wash if he wears it or doesn't, and it's cool. It's so much cooler when he doesn't.
Well, Thrax, why don't you hang on to these bracers of defense for now? I think.
Cool.
All right.
So are we sure they don't count as armor?
That's the whole point.
Okay.
So what all do they? Sorry, what all do they impart?
+2 to AC.
+2. Oh, okay.
So next, I got next bracers of defense. Next time we do, next vampire lord we beat.
So, Brambrek, while you're talking to Janae, I mean, she asks if Melvin's around, first of all.
We saw him yesterday. He left and we followed him to the woods and couldn't follow him any further.
Says, yeah, that sounds like him. She says that she was talking to the ambassador from Baldur's Gate, she says, I don't know if Melvin told you, but around the time that all this happened and I got taken off to Barovia, I had been going to the big city, to Baldur's Gate, to get my education. I was starting engineering school, actually. And I was just coming back to the village to tell them that I got accepted to engineering school. And I was talking to the ambassador from Baldur's Gate. She can give me a ride back to the city. We're hoping that the school will still accept me, even though I'm turning up a couple decades later looking like I have an age today. So I don't want to leave without saying goodbye to Melvin, but she's offered me a ride today, and that's what I'm going to try to do. She also says, now I got this medal. I don't think I deserve it. I think this medal should really go to Khalifa. But the ambassador did say that that she'll help me grease the wheels with the school. She said having this medal will help tell my story. So, it's up to you. Khalifa deserves this medal. He should have it. What do you think?
Just to me?
Well, she's talking to, I don't know, were you with your other compatriots who have the lycanthropic problems? So, Schmax, just so you know, they gave out 8 medals last night to the 7 of you and Janae and snubbed Khalifa. His father gave out the medals. So. She said, I think he deserves it. It might make getting into my school easier, but he really deserves it. So what do you think?
Well, what would Lori Laughlin do? That's what I want to know.
What's the answer?
I don't know. How badly does Khalifa want the medal? I mean, Khalifa does value education.
All right. Well, if nobody's making a call, she's gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it belongs to Khalifa. I'll make a call. I think it belongs to Khalifa.
Yeah, she says
the one who rightfully deserved it.
She says, I think it does too. I think it does too. And the ambassador is going to help me get into the school. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So she turns over the medal, says, I think he's in the library. Bring this to Khalifa.
Is there any message you'd like us to share with Melvin? I know you were friends as children.
Yeah, that I hope he comes to see me. That I don't mean to choose my education over him, but I don't know what he's got going on next. If he wants to come down to Baldur's Gate, that would be wonderful. Going to this, it's called the Barley Engineering School. All the best engineering schools are named after grains, as you know. And that was my dream previously, and I want to try to get back to my normal life. She says, but I am concerned. Even though I can control my transformations, I am concerned about being a werewolf living in the big city. If you can find this cure that they're talking about, please deliver it to me. I'm going to try to keep things under control, but it would be a big relief if you could find this cure and bring it to me, if it exists.
We will do our best. If it does not, we may come to you to learn more of your control.
Okay. Ooh, somebody's coloring in her coloring books. That's my mother-in-law. Sorry, just got a text.
You were like watching her in real time or something.
That's a little creepy. No, Libby's with her.
I thought it was one of your daughters, and I was like, "That's weird that you're so excited about that," but that's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Books send automated texts when they're being used.
That's the smart coloring books actually. Yes. So Neil, what do you do with your day?
Well, so I was thinking that we saw Melvin go into the woods, right?
Yes. Well, no, you saw him leave. No, you didn't. But you tracked him to the woods.
We tracked him to the woods. So we saw the direction he was heading in, and then the woods were too thick to see where he had gone.
We just lost his track.
Yes.
Yeah. So I took advantage of my day to learn a new spell.
Okay.
And I've been kind of itching to learn anyway, which is talk with plants.
Okay. Okay.
And I think I'm going to go out to the woods where we saw. If anyone wants to come join me, I can. I'm pretty excited about this new spell because I've been interested in. Because sometimes humans just aren't that interested in my performances. I figure the plants will be.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out to the woods and I cast the spell. And asked them if they had seen a ranger go into the woods, or if they'd seen a ranger, which direction he was heading in, and see what I can find out.
Okay.
I'll tag along with talks with plants.
All right.
You learn
same
that
here.
plants do not distinguish people very well.
Okay. All right. You cast the spell. Are you talking to any particular plants?
Well, I do want to say that I would like to go find a place between two ferns and just cast that generally. I would like to speak. It covers all 30. I'll go into the woods about 30 feet.
Yeah.
So I'll cast it around myself.
Sure.
But I'm especially interested in both kind of the underbrush that could, understand what's going on, who passed through, but also the taller ones. Depends on what kind of forest it is. What kind of forest is it? Is it really dense, like a jungle?
It's foresty forest. I don't know about dense, but it's
But if the tallest trees, could they see, hear what's going on but beneath them and see out at a distance to understand what's going on even further out beyond 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me focus on the taller ones first to see if they have a pretty good, so to speak, bird's eye view.
I think trees are smarter.
What?
Trees are smarter anyway.
Yeah, And actually, excuse me, I need to change my.
All right. So you cast it on a tree. Hey man, how's it going?
Good. So very tall.
Heard you casting some. You had some good beats there when you're casting that spell. Some good rhythm. I like.
Oh yeah, you could see that all over there and.
Oh, I can see it.
Huh?
But you're just 30 feet away from me.
Oh, okay.
No, just like as you're casting the Speak with Plants spell.
Oh, okay. As I'm casting that, okay. I thought you were talking about my performance last night. I would have been more impressed had that made an impression. But so you're pretty tall up there. How's the weather up there?
Oh, it's nice, man. It's a nice day. Not too many clouds. Hope it's going to rain later, but no clouds yet. It's very nice.
So we have a friend who's a ranger
Mm-hmm.
who we think headed into the woods yesterday, and we can't find him. The woods are just too thick. But we figured that you've got a pretty good view on what's going on through the entire forest. So could you what can you see down there? Have you seen anything?
A lot of people come through the woods. A lot of people come through the woods. When was this?
It would have been yesterday about a little help, guys. What was that? Around 4 o'clock or so?
Oh, is that the special guy?
Yeah, the special guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he would have looked like an expert in the woods.
Oh, it wasn't what he looked like. No, it was that we all felt him. We were all in tune with this guy. Something.
What does
It
that
wasn't
mean?
just me. Something like came to us and said, "Hey, there's this guy coming. Give him a little push. Give him a little help." Something. I just felt that.
A little push.
A little encouragement. And what I felt was, there's a guy who doesn't know what he wants, but
Mm.
we should really help him out. So, not many people talk to me. Not many people can hear what I say, but I was trying my best to say to this guy, what do you want?
Mhm.
What do you want to do?
Okay.
And it wasn't just me, it was all of us saying that. And he walked right by, and he seemed to be thinking a lot. There's a lot going on in his head, and he walked right by. But he was special, and as plants, and I think the animals too, we're all said, hey, give this guy some support.
So where is that guy now?
He kept on walking, man. Kept on walking, just walking.
Can you see him
I
now?
was hoping he'd sit down underneath me, maybe climb a branch or something, and think and learn what he wanted to do. But he just kept walking.
So can you see him now?
No, man.
No. He went far. He went far. So how far can you see?
Oh, about a mile. If it's winter, I can see 5-6 miles. But with all these leaves, about a mile. He didn't seem to be stopping.
So he went more than a mile into the forest.
Oh yeah. He wasn't slowing down.
What direction did he head? Can we get a vector?
I assume that is true.
I'm talking to Neil.
Yeah. Can you?
He was going north.
North. Is there like
this guy, something about him made us all want to like give him a little push, in a good way, a little push.
So is there it's kind of a chain you've got a chain of friends where you could talk to friends over a mile, and maybe there'd be a passage of some communication? Could we communicate to our friend through you, and you pass it along through the plants? And if
we're not much of talkers, really. We're really not much of talkers. We really just.
Yeah, but you were talking to this guy. His name is.
And that's pretty rare. That doesn't happen. But something made me want to talk to him.
Was it just you, or you said it was all your colleagues?
It was everybody. It was everybody in the forest. Yeah.
Right. So could you get a message to him now? Passing it along.
Probably not, but.
Plant to plant?
You can try. Probably not. Plants aren't big talkers, really.
Well, what would it? I think I'd like to persuade this tree if I could, Jay.
Give me a persuasion check.
All right, here we go. 23.
Okay. He said, I'll tell the trees around me. They're not big talkers, but I'll tell them. What do you want? What do you want to say?
I want to say, Melvin, we're all we're all concerned. Well, these are trees, so trees and plants. I'll try to keep it simple. Melvin, we're concerned. Please come back or send us a sign.
All right. I'll pass it on.
Thank you. Can I, while I'm at it, can I talk to some of the underbrush?
Maybe we can also just let him know that we're going to be headed back to Neverwinter eventually, in case he wants to look for us there. That would be a part of the message.
Like it's
Sure.
getting a little long.
Sorry.
The shorter you keep it, the better it is. All right. So you like them, and you don't like winter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right,
Neverwinter.
I'll try. I mean, again, trees aren't big talkers, but I'll ask for them to pass it on.
Hey, Ariel, could you throw your Raven figurine down and send your Raven out?
I asked about that last time. I think we need to know where he is in order for that to work. So
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
You know, we
Anything
know a
else?
direction. We know a direction now, which is nice, huh?
It's akin to like sending a person. Like you would say, hey, go to this place and find this guy with a red shirt and tell him hi. I mean, it's sort of got to know where they are and what they're looking for.
Gotcha.
And I have that locate person spell, but it's only within 1,000 feet. I mean, I suppose we can go the wood. I mean, now we know we can probably go into the woods about, 4,000 feet and
So
find him with that.
I mean, I don't want to step on anyone's fun, but I do wonder if you saw what I posted on Slack.
I just posted it there a second ago. Reposted it there.
That time spent looking for Melvin is counterproductive to the goal of getting Ryan back in the game. Again, I don't want to ruin anyone's fun, but
Oh, damn it.
I can see us doing this for 3 hours, and
I like talking to plants.
I like being a plant.
I say to Neil, hey, Neil, I think that this tree thing might not pan out, but I feel like Melvin can look after himself in the forest. Let's go back to the others and see what's happening.
Okay, well, it makes me feel good that there are some plants there, like the entire forest is looking out for him.
Great.
Yeah. You did get that.
Okay.
As you're walking back into the city, which again, the city is sort of like a forest itself. A woman walks up to you and she's wearing like holy vestments with the moon symbol on them, not unlike the one that's on your armor, Neil. And she says, "Oh, hello." So it's Neil and Breezy, and maybe Ariel's not everywhere. Neil and Breezy there. She says, "Oh, hello. Are you two of the adventuring group that we've been hearing so much about in town?"
Yes.
And she says to you, Neil, "Oh, it looks like you've got the vestments of Sehanin, our goddess, on your armor."
Oh,
The goddess of the moon. Did I get the wrong name? You've got the vestments of Sehanin in your armor.
is that the Moonlight's Glamour?
Yeah.
Okay.
She says,
Yes. How do you know about that?
I'm a priestess of Sehanin, so I'm very good at identifying the symbols. And she also says, and if I'm not wrong, you have the look of someone who's actually been touched and blessed by the goddess, because you took the feat Magic Initiate Cleric. She doesn't say it in those words, but you did. So that was getting a blessing from the goddess. So she says, it looks as if you've gotten a blessing from the goddess, maybe in some of your troubles.
Yes. Well, we've ventured long and hard and come across many different creatures.
Okay. She says, is that working for you? The goddess's blessings, have they been helping you in your travels?
Yes, they have. It has been very helpful to have some of the skills and spells that clerics have.
Okay. Are you a holy person yourself?
Holy in
A
what way?
religious person. I don't know. Just wondering. I was saying because it appears that you're a bard. Am I correct?
I'm a bard, yes.
Okay. She says, yeah, there have been some bards that have there have been some bards that have had more success with using holy magics than others. In fact, we know in Baldur's Gate, there's in the Baldur's Gate Temple of Sahanaim, there's a bard there. She uses her charisma to cast cleric spells, rather than you're using your wisdom, which I know bards excel at charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So if these benefits that you've gotten from the goddess, if you ever want to improve them, you may want to go talk to her and see how she has combined her bardic skills with her goddess's gifts to.
Oh, that would be very useful. And where is she again? What is her name?
Baldur's Gate. She's her name is I don't know. Her name is something. Leilani. She's the bard.
Lonnie Bard. Okay. That's wonderful to know. Thank you for letting me know.
Sure.
And speaking of, so are you from Baldur's Gate?
No, I born and raised here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's a human woman, but there's a significant human population. It's mostly elves, but quite a few humans in town.
And do you know where I could find the representative from the Lord's Alliance from Baldur's Gate? I think she, right?
I mean, this priestess doesn't know.
Okay.
Okay, that was a nice chat. Who else wants to do things today? Breezy, anything on your agenda?
We could do a Soul
Tagging along
Jar
the same
Raven
sites.
Temple thing. Should we do a Soul Jar Raven Temple thing?
I need to ask, ask him just hey, for clarification. Do you want to just be freed from the jar, or do you want us to try and, ask him if he's ready to move on, if that's what's normally done, or if he wants us to continue to carry him around in a jar?
He says, well, the third option is I'd like to get a body back, and
Well-
there certainly are spells that do that.
We're working on that. I just wanted to be sure.
Are you? Really? Sorry, go on.
Just checking if you want to be released because that's what's normally done, we're to understand. Or if you want us to continue to try and move forward with this.
He says, no, I certainly prefer. I don't feel like my life is done. I feel like it was cut short. And no, I'd much prefer to be reincarnated into my body. If that can't happen, then I guess my time is up. But no, I would prefer to come back.
All right.
He says, and I believe various temples around town can help you with that.
For instance, the Raven Temple would help, or
Yes.
all right. Well,
Yeah,
we
he
can
says,
go-
yeah, they're the. Okay.
Then I can go with them to the Raven Temple and see what they know.
Okay. So Raven Temple. It's pretty grand. It's a pretty grand place, and it's it sort of doubles as the funeral parlor for the rich to middle class, as well as the worship of the Raven Queen. You go in, and they're all sort of silent and somber, but they nod at you, but they do see the dagger that you're wearing has the lady's symbol, and so they perk up a little bit and invite you to sort of one of the back rooms and say, oh, I see you bear the bear the symbol of the matron of ravens. Is there anything we can do to help you?
There is. I also bear this, and I show them the soul jar, and I say,
Okay.
this is my mentor who was prematurely and against his will trapped in this jar, and we're looking for a way to re-embody him.
Ah, they say, oh, this is unnatural. This is, trapping a soul like this is very much against everything that the matron of ravens stands for.
Yeah, we were definitely not happy about it.
Yes. And she says, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you part of the party of adventurers that just came to town? And is it true that you actually fought against a very powerful undead?
We did a kind of a vampire feller.
Also an abomination to the lady,
Yeah.
to the lady of death. So thank you for your service.
Yep,
She
we
says,
dealt with that.
yes, we can help you. Now, as you might expect, these are very powerful and rare spells that can bring a soul back to a body. We can help you. Our services, there will be no charge for our services. These are very difficult spells for the services, to be clear, the labor part of it. These are very difficult spells to charge, but because of who you are and what you've done, we won't charge for the labor. We do need to charge for the materials, unfortunately.
Okay.
You have two options. One option is the true resurrection spell. That will bring your friend back just as he was. That's sort of the high-end option.
Mm-hmm.
That requires materials that are worth 25,000 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not something that you're prepared to do right now, do you have his whole body? No? Okay. That limits our options, but doesn't eliminate them. There is one other choice that is sort of a more. There's one other choice, the reincarnation spell. That costs 1,000 gold pieces worth of herbs.
Mm-hmm.
He may come back. He may not. He will not appear as he did before. He will not have his old body, but he will have a body.
Will it be like a human body?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, seems like a problem.
It'll be a body like it could be elf, it could be dwarf, could be gnome. It'll be a humanoid body.
It'll be a sentient humanoid.
Yes, it'll be a humanoid body of someone living in our society.
Well, let me ask Gil if that's amenable to him.
Okay.
He seemed like he was in a hurry, so.
Yeah, I mean, he says, I'm at your whim. I would prefer my own body, of course, but if it's a matter of waiting a long time or getting it now, if it's getting it now, I'd like to get it now.
25,000 gold seems like waiting a long time.
Understandable.
Rambert just blew 1,500 on some armor, man.
You 1,500 and 25,000. We have an order of magnitude problem.
We only need 2,000 more.
I'm happy to let you stand up front, Ariel, if you'd like.
Oh, is that the total value up there at the
We've
top?
got 23,000, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody's going to be in for.
Yeah, I don't know that I can spend everybody's money, but I think I can happily spend 1,000.
Okay. Is that what you would like to do?
Yes, I would.
Okay. She says, would you like to be a part of this process? Or would you like us to take care of it without you?
What does a part of this process mean?
Well, it just means being in the room. So when your friend comes out with his new body, there's a friendly face there.
I'll wait in the waiting room.
Says, okay. Okay. She opens the door, and you can see through the door into the other room, sort of a big room with what appears to be a small pool of what appears to be blood. Now, may or may not be. She walks in there, says, you sure you don't want to be here?
Yeah, I definitely do not want to be in the room full of blood.
Okay. All right. She closes the door. About 10 minutes pass. Roll me a D100.
I can do that.
So exciting.
This is gonna be great, man. Definitely roll a 1 or a 100.
Rolled a 7. That's as close as 1 as I could get.
You rolled a 7. Okay.
Lucky 7.
All right. She walks back out with a dwarf wearing a bathrobe. And he says, Breezy, how do I look?
You look great. Shorter than I remember, but still good.
Yeah. He says, yeah, this will be a change. It's a pretty muscular body. I just came into appearance, but I've already, this body has more strength than I'm used to. I like it.
And I imagine dwarf bodies last a long time.
They actually do. Yeah. He's like, I bet I could drink a lot more alcohol now too.
This seems like a pretty good deal.
He says, and let's see if all my abilities are back. I'm going to conjure a wand. And he holds out his hand, but nothing happens. Like, I used to be able to create simple items out of nothing. Huh.
That could be a side
You've done that,
effect.
Breezy. You did that with you did that with a can of paint, right?
Right. Whenever I had you in the soul jar, I was able to, yeah.
And as you say, yeah, I was able to. A can of paint appears in your hand. And he says, huh, Breezy, looks like a part of me must have stuck with you. All right, well, you earned that.
That's interesting.
That's well worth it. Well worth it, my young man.
Oh, interesting. Well,
Keep that talent, and I'll keep developing my other arcane abilities.
hilarious.
So apparently you've kept the ability to create small items once per day.
Awesome.
Well, and I have a can of green paint right now.
Would you like to go to the store and try to sell it?
No, I'm just gonna hold on to it. It's kind of a nice memento. I'm just gonna put it in our bag of holding whenever we get it. Just if we ever need a can of green paint, we'll have it.
All right. All
Where
right.
that came from.
Well, Gil, I'm so pleased to have been able to get you back. Now, maybe you can help us think about how to deal with Cooper Black, because he's kind of on a rampage.
He's like, yeah, he's crafty. I trusted him, but he was up to something no good. And
He was too handsome.
yeah, he was. He was too reassuring, too soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he says, I don't know what he's got planned next. Obviously, didn't know what he had planned up until this point.
Right.
He says, I don't like the idea of going back to Neverwinter. I know that your friend has big connections in the Silvery Moon Library, so I might get him to set me up. I'll just join their research staff here.
Okay. Well, we'll keep in touch to see if we find anything about Cooper Black. You know, in our travels, we'll come back and check in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I take him and introduce him to the gang.
Yeah. They finally get to see a body.
Yeah, turns out he's a dwarf now. That's neat. And I made this paint.
All right, so I'm going to hold off on. So what we're going to do with Khalifa, going to research Orcus. And
Amulet.
And
the amulet. Yeah, I'll hold off on both of those. One thing I will say that he's talking to his mentors in the library. I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, whenever he comes in, we'll just rewind and do that part. Yeah, is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
All right. So he does whatever he does in the library. What else would y'all like to accomplish around Silvery Moon?
Jay, can we like consolidate our gold and everything down? Like sell our random gold amulet and jewels and
Yes, yes, yes,
jeweled chalice. And
That's a good
diamonds
idea.
and-
yes.
Should we turn it all into gold? Is that the most useful?
Yeah, I mean, platinum is like a $10 coin or something like that, but it's it's sort of you sort of stand out if you're throwing around platinum coins. So
All right.
maybe some platinum just for carrying purposes and some gold.
Maybe a little bit of silver just in case. We've been
Alright.
Ball change.
Be back in a second.
All right. I'll start turning things into money.
Yeah, that's been changed to tip the valet.
I'm not there, but I really think we should invest heavily in art.
Land, they're not making any more of it.
Lex Luthor said that was a good idea. Thrax and I had a question. Can he wear Cord's knuckles and the bracers at the same time?
Oh, yes.
Okay, super.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that through, but I'll say yes.
We just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, maybe the knuckles go to like here and the bracers are like more for blocking. I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened to our dragon parts?
They're in the bag.
You got them. I think the the dragon scales. The guys in Phandalin said they could make something magical out of them.
Should we?
The dragon
Oh,
fangs
it's-
we haven't figured out yet.
They're under magic items.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And the werewolf fur, and they still wanted some fruit or something or leaves. I don't remember what it was.
Is there any place in Silvery Moon, that where we could exchange that for money?
Dragon
We don't
parts? Yeah. Yeah, they're like alchemists chops and stuff.
Don't we
So,
want?
yeah, you can,
Didn't we want to save those? Didn't the dwarfs want them?
they definitely said they wanted the scales.
The scales. I see.
I think you got other stuff.
Okay.
Either way, we can.
Or I don't know. Is that something that's better off being done in the bigger city in Waterdeep?
Listen to this guy, the bigger city, the real big city. You're in a pretty big city.
Yeah, whatever. I know big cities.
Boston is a big city, man.
In high school. I got like
Yeah, I don't know. You can try to go to an alchemist and try to turn it into something magical, or sell it, or keep it. Your choice.
Well, it doesn't cost us anything to keep it, so let's just keep it for now. Maybe we find somebody who really values dragon stuff.
Sure.
We are going to be talking with like magic forging people sometime eventually if we pursue the blaze reforging. So they might be interested.
Okay. Anything else you want to do in Neverwinter? And again, it's fine if y'all say we spend 2 weeks searching for Melvin. That's totally fine. But just
I think that sounds good. And then let's.
I mean, I don't know if we like Melvin 2 weeks worth.
Yeah, I was thinking more like
I'm just throwing that out
2
there.
days.
Yeah.
I
How
think 1
long?
week is a good amount. Maybe a few days.
You can a few days. Okay, a few days.
Hour and 45 minutes.
And then let's head to Neverwinter. I think would be the next place to try and figure out what's going on with Sister Gorel.
The other nice thing about spending a few days is that our lycanthropes can rest up.
Yeah, fair enough. And
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
Khalifa can do whatever. I know he wanted to make some scrolls and things like that, and
Yeah.
scribe some spells.
Yeah, again, we'll get to that when he gets back. But he fully makes the transformation from a divination wizard to an Order of the Scribes wizard, in the connection with his book, and copies the spells he wants. He takes that cursed book and the combination of Mage Hand and he sort of says, "Thrax, can you turn that page for me?" And Drax like gets shocked every time he does. And, he managed to copy whatever spells he wants out of those books. And yeah, we'll figure out what he want to do with his time. He had quite a bit of shopping he want to do too. So
Is there something that's webbier than webs that he could learn?
And greasier than grease.
Greasier than grease.
Greasy webs.
Teflon.
well, greasy webs, I think, defeats the purpose. Yeah, there are a few things I wanted to go through with him, and those can wait. So yeah, when that's done, he.
Do we feel like we're wasting time though on finding Sister Girl? I mean, how long? She's been gone for a few weeks though, right? Because she left shortly after we did.
She left exactly when you did. That's why Sildar thought he was with you.
Ah, okay.
So it was 13 days that you were in Barovia, appropriately enough.
Okay, so she's been missing for 2 weeks already.
Yeah.
So she's presumed dead at this point. I mean, the
Yeah,
police
so-
wouldn't investigate.
It's a recovery mission at this point.
Yeah. Cut.
All right. So if you're ready to leave the city, Khalifa for the first time cast the teleportation circle spell, and I'm sure he would describe it pretty dramatically, but I think it involves drawing a circle on the ground with chalk. I don't know. We'll let him fill that in. And you all teleport, and you appear inside what appears to be a military installation, like a fort. And there's an old sort of veteran dwarf behind a desk. He's missing his left arm, and you appear, and he picks up a spear, and then he looks at you sort of closely, and there are a few other guards behind. There are like arrow slits where you are. It's like a murder hole where you are. And he looks at you. He says, "Am I expecting you?"
Yeah.
So we're octopodemos.
We're the
Yeah.
heroes of the realm.
I was told you were coming. I was told to look for the really big guy and the really little guy and everybody in between. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, here you are. Is it your first time in Neverwinter?
No, I grew up here.
Oh, a local. Great. Great.
No.
Me too. Well, he says, well, you can see the old man is putting on a good show today, and he points up the mountain towards the volcano that lies just to the northeast of Neverwinter.
Oh yeah.
And it's usually got sort of a small plume of smoke coming up, but it's got like three, a sort of a large plume and couple other small plumes coming up. And this mountain is Mount Hotnow, and it's the volcano that warms the river that flows through Neverwinter,
Thus
and it keeps
Neverwinter.
the river and the port. It keeps the river and the port from freezing all winter. They still get cold. The city still gets cold, but the port doesn't freeze, and it's all due to the volcano, which is just, it's smoking at the top, but it's a beautiful mountain leading up to there. It's Brambrecht, tell them what it's like living next to an active volcano that's beautiful.
It's a wondrous sight to be able to warm yourself there, but still enjoy the frigid night air.
Yeah, I meant Dave Miller more than Brambrecht, but either way.
Right.
Lots of hot tubbing, I assume.
I don't think you hot tub at Mount
Rainier.
Rainier.
Rainier. Yeah, well, I was drawing a blank on that. How embarrassing. So yeah, you get a good. You're apparently on that side of the northeast side of the city, so you had a really good view of the mountain and the volcano up there.
Hmm.
So he sends you on your way, unless you have any questions for him.
Has there been any sightings of Cooper Black?
Wait, did Melvin join us or not? Did we?
I don't
No.
know that he's gonna know. Like, I don't know that like random teleport
Yeah.
dog dude's gonna know.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, you can ask, but you just get a blank stare.
He's a red shirt,
Right,
is what you're
did
telling me.
Melvin join us or did we abandon him?
Melvin did not join you.
We left behind message about where we were going and what we were gonna do.
All right.
We figured if he didn't want to be found in the woods, he wouldn't be found.
Okay, so what's next?
I think maybe we're gonna head to the temple of I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the deity, the Luckbringer deity.
Alondra?
Avandra?
Avandra, sorry. It's we're gonna the Temple of Avandra to go find out more what they know about Sister Gorel and what they set up with their search. And
Okay. All right. Yeah, you go and they you sort of take the point because you've got the coin with the image of Avandra on it. They recognize that it's something special and they say, "Oh, come in. What can we help you with?"
well, we wanted to learn more about Sister Gorel. We had dealings with her in the past. We understand that she has gone missing. We
They say,
wanted
"Oh,
to find.
yes. Yes, you were friends of hers. Yes. She was stationed in a town called Phandalin. It's sort of an up and coming
Yes.
town, the southeast of here. Yeah, and she nobody's heard from her in a couple weeks. She was supposed to be at that town, and she's just disappeared.
Where have people looked for her?
In the area, I mean, we've hired some people to do search parties. Hired a few groups to try to look for her, and we've sent. We're not very good woods people, but we've tried what we can, and mostly in the Phandalin area.
Well, we have reason to believe she was searching for a tree that had fruit with magical properties.
Oh, she told you about that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was sort of a that we gave her that request. We didn't think anything would come up of it. It was more like, oh, if you hear of anything, see what you can do. We don't really think that we don't think that's actually going to lead to anything.
Well,
but we did throw that out there.
Well, I suspect that she went looking for that tree and has disappeared on that mission.
Oh, that would be foolish of her. I don't know if the tree actually exists, but okay. Oh, that's if so, I hope she's taking care of herself in the woods. I mean, she's as capable as any of the rest of us.
Well, I feel some obligation to her, and I think we'd like to go try to help her if we could. And I'm wondering if there's anything that you think that might be of assistance to help us in our search for her.
Well, I'd say, just listen to the Blessed Lady. She's the goddess of luck and the goddess of travelers, and you'll need both. So just listen to her and follow her guidance.
Well, very good. I think we'll look for her, and if we get news of her, we'll certainly let you know.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. May Avandra see you on your way.
Breezy, should we do some investigation into Cooper Black?
Yeah, now that he's left the academy, it seems like we might have a better chance of getting in and poking around. Remember last time we tried to go there, we were just shut out at the gate.
Okay. So you go there, and it's locked up. The doors are locked. The windows are shuttered. It appears to be empty.
Well, then we should unlock that door.
All right. You front door, back door.
The back door, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you get in the back door without too much effort, and the place appears to be pretty much cleared out. I mean, not in a total rush, but pretty cleared out. Furniture is left behind, but books and personal effects all seem to be gone.
From a metagame perspective, this organization was a. Can you provide us with some background, Jay, that I don't have as a human being?
I was hoping you would do that.
Okay, I can do that. I didn't know if this was a long-lived organization or if it was like it existed because Gil Sans accreted people around him.
You tell me.
So it was not a long-standing organization. It was just Gil Sans's, Charles Xavier school that he put together. So when he went away, Cooper Black took over. And I guess when Cooper decided to leave, there was nothing left for anyone here. The school aspect couldn't exist without someone, of advanced skill, and experience. So I guess there's no one left. We can look around and see if they left anything behind or any clues.
Definitely look around and see if there's any indication.
Yeah, but I guess with Gil gone, there was really nothing left holding people here. So, which is a shame. This is, after I was homeless on the streets, this was the only home I knew for years as a late teen into my early adulthood.
Okay. Somebody want to roll me an investigation check? And actually roll and add like plus 10, because if Khalifa was there, he'd have a quite high investigation. Breezy, why don't you roll and add 10? Say
All
that's
right.
Khalifa's investigation.
So add 10. 20.
Okay. There's not much for the physical clues, but you start to talk to some of the neighbors, and they say, yeah, they all said they were going on some sort of pilgrimage of some sort.
Interesting.
So the students, what would you say, like 10, 20 students?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Of various level, TAs and etc.
Sure.
Yeah, they're big. The big professor guy, the guy with the big beard, the friendly looking guy, he came back and said they're all like going. So they went. He said, oh well, he said they'll be back, but sort of in a not very convincing way. And they all just went on some sort of pilgrimage caravan thing.
They give you any indication to where, or?
No, they said they'd be heading south, but there's a lot of stuff south.
Sure is. Just about everything.
Yeah.
No offense, but.
So.
All right. Well. Okay, heading south.
Well, south is where Phandalin is, where the dwarfs are, and
Waterdeep is south. Baldur's Gate is south. So that's the nice thing. Pretty much everything is south except Mirabar.
Tree is south.
I mean, I want to go to Mirabar at some point, but I have the patience of a mountain.
And the size.
I don't have that patience either.
And Thrax was against going to Mirabar, right? He was pushing the opposite direction.
I mean, I won't speak for him when he's not here. He said he was against serving anyone in Mirabar or working for Mirabar. I don't know where he came down on the visiting Mirabar.
For what it's worth, I'm against serving them too.
Well, let's leave this.
What about that book you have to serve Mirror? No, wait, that didn't work. To serve man, I was trying.
Okay, it's a cookbook. To serve.
Head out of the city and see if we can find Sister Durrell on our way back to check in with the dwarves.
Yeah, we have a map, right? So let's
take a break and head upstairs.
We have a map, right? That should lead us to the tree.
Yeah, we should also probably leave another message for Melvin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who we would leave that with.
Well,
the information kiosk.
Sure, right.
I mean, whoever was the like random
the guy who the teleport guy.
Yeah.
If Melvin comes through here, let him know we headed to.
Exactly.
We'll rendezvous in Phandalin.
Well, we can always tack a note on the back door of this academy. That's one place.
Yeah, Melvin went to the academy with us once.
We could also leave a note in a couple of taverns, right?
He does love a drink.
Isn't that what?
Whether or not it'd be worth leaving with sort of a message with the authorities or not. That's less Melvin's style, but he might consider talking to someone in the Lord's Alliance, since we do rub elbows with that kind of people now.
Here's what I tell you. Let's leave some notes in some taverns, give them a couple of coppers, and promise them a couple of more coppers. If our friend receives it, he'll pay them. What do you think of that?
Sounds good.
And there's got to be a town bulletin board too, right?
What's that?
There's got to be a town bulletin board.
We have to be careful going by the town bulletin board because Neil might see a thing where you tear off to join a band, and he might join a band if we go there. And
Influences include.
yeah.
All right, Jay, we're gonna leave it a couple messages around town.
Sure. Maybe like the bar where you first all met up.
Yeah, that bar. Maybe also in the school where we went just went now and went before.
Sure. And it'll say where. It'll say, what are you doing?
Headed to Fandolin.
Meet you in Fandolin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is that where you're going next, Fandolin?
We're good. Yeah, Ariel's got the map to the tree, and we're gonna see if I don't know where that is.
Yeah, maybe you could help us with the geography. I don't know, like, is the tree in between Neverwinter and Fandolin, or is it?
I apologize. I forgot something really big.
You're all dead.
When you arrive in Neverwinter, there's a giant statue to Cooper Black.
No, Breezy. You.
Because you did the.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. Breezy, as you see your mentor in a new body, and you've
in a stunning robe.
Yes, and you've been trying so long to help him out with this and you're surrounded by the energies of the Raven Queen, and you've accomplished this thing so much, and you feel the connection between yourself and Whisper grow.
Oh,
I do apologize that I didn't say that earlier. And
what does that mean?
I was just taking a peek at all the slides I had and seeing what slide do I need. Come on. Come on. There we go. Your connection to Whisper grows.
Opposite hand, interesting.
Whoa.
If the attack has advantage, whoa.
20s, that's awesome.
So it's triple advantage.
Extra super duper advantage.
And it gets +2. Is that reflected on D&D Beyond?
No, we'd probably have to build our own little magic item.
I wonder if I can.
It's due to hit and damage bonus will go up by 1 more than it is now. I don't know if you're going to be starting a fight with anybody that soon, but okay.
Okay, I don't know enough of the details of it to know what I'm changing. So when we get to, you help me understand what we're.
Yeah, I'll work on it in the next week or so.
All right, cool.
Okay.
And the 3D20 is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
I would start a fight just to see how this thing works now.
You would do what?
You're right there.
Oh. All right. So you're going to Fandolin?
Yeah. So Jay, I was going to ask, so I don't know, we have this map of where the tree is located.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're looking for Sister Gorel. And so is that tree north, or is it in between Neverwinter and Fandolin, or is it south of Fandolin?
It's south of Fandolin.
So yeah, I guess we go into Fandolin first. Maybe sort of ask around there about Sister Gorel, and then.
Can we check up on our little goblin clan on the way? See if they're still maintaining the castle for us.
You can do both of those, yes.
How the owlbear is doing.
And we're going back here. I like it.
We also have we maybe could stop in with the dwarves and talk to them as well.
I was kidding about the goblins.
You guys want to go to the mines?
Yeah, if we're gonna go, well, I don't remember where the mine was relative to Fandolin.
A little past Fandolin, I guess.
That's
Fandolin or Fandelver?
Where's the tree?
The
tree's on the
tree.
map.
We don't know really.
Yeah, if you look at the map on slide 3, I think it's that.
The blue dot.
Was that the mine? Well, then I don't know. Then I guess it's farther into the mountains.
Okay, so we go to Fandolin first, and then we maybe could head through the mine towards the tree, I guess.
Okay. All right. So it takes about a full day of travel to get to Fandolin. I don't know if you need to camp overnight on the way or not. Let's say you don't. So you pull into town late afternoon. The town's bigger than you've ever seen it. It's really growing. It's apparently word's gotten around of this successful mine opening, and there's more people there. They're rebuilding the bar. So it's been about 3 weeks since the bar burned down. Schmax, why don't you describe to me how much progress they've made on rebuilding the bar in 3 weeks? Because you can say that better than I can, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they've made excellent progress.
I was hoping for your handyman know-how to describe what someone would do in 3 weeks.
Ah, yeah. Well, in
Did
this
they put in a
case,
dormer?
They had to harvest the trees. They had to dry the wood. So I think they've got a big pile of lumber there, and they've probably got a bunch of shavings because they've been shaving the wood down.
I imagine they cleared the area.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Fire did that.
So demo first, yeah, absolutely. That's all done.
Yeah. I'm thinking they've got the framing started.
All right.
Big logs, pegs, stuff like that.
Right. So it's currently a COVID responsible sort of open air bar, and a lot of people are still going there. It's get the sense that the locals want to support this place and get it back on its feet.
Is
Yeah, go
Sildar
find
in
me.
town?
He was ahead of you by a couple days. He left when they were done with him. So yeah, he's been there a couple days.
Well, let's go check in with Sildar. I guess tell him we're gonna go to the mine and then go investigate Sister Gorel, unless
Okay.
he's heard from her.
Yeah.
Anything new?
Yeah, he says he's glad because he was trying. He was not worried before because he thought she was traveling with the 8 of you, but now he is worried because he doesn't know where she is, and he's sort of the sheriff here. He's got responsibilities here. He can't go off looking with you, but he's glad you are.
I guess I'd be interested to go to sort of her temple
Okay.
area and see if
Yeah,
there's
her-
any clues left behind or anything.
Yeah, she had sort of an open air shrine, and it looks like it's been well kept up. The community members seem to have been maintaining it while she's gone, but it's there. It's empty. It's like a little arch of stones. So they're maintaining it, but it's sitting there sort of empty.
Did okay.
Well, should we go?
Okay. Anything else?
I guess we'll rest the night before we start out in the morning.
Okay.
So is this our second night since full moon?
Oh no, we're like
No, it's like
we're way past that.
Oh, we're way
yeah,
past
it's like
that.
4 or 5 nights.
Oh, okay. Lost track of our sleeping.
All right, we'll get a couple rooms. How much does a room cost to you, Jay?
I mean, that inn doesn't have. There are other inns in town. There's one other inn in town. It's a place where the Red Brands have been drinking, and where you made such an impression on Willie. It's not as nice. It's more of a flop house, and it's 2 coppers per person per night.
All right.
That's in the
We get rid of all of our coppers.
Got rid of some of them.
And it's so good thing Melvin's not with you, so that saves you some money. And
Yeah.
So it's sort of crummy. It's like a big open room. It's already got a dozen people in there, but you can sort of get off a corner to yourself and stay the night.
Sweet.
Should we say that Khalifa at some point has cast remove curse on our were friends again for the next moon cycle?
Sure. That could certainly happen over the days. Yep.
Oh.
All right. So you wake up the next day. Anything else you want to do in town?
I mean, I assume that the night before Neil put on a performance in the bar.
Neil put on performance. Y'all did a good share of drinking.
There was
Yeah.
something missing though.
The
Vocals.
singing.
Yeah, there were no vocals.
The
It was
singing
just a
wasn't
little
there.
sad.
And then are we going to the mine or the tree first? I don't know which is.
I think Jay sort of said the mine was on the way to the tree, so I
Yep.
assume we hit the mine.
I'm going to inspire everyone. Just make sure everybody's raring to go.
Nice.
Feeling it. Feeling it.
I assume that. Okay. Yeah, it's just a couple hours walk to the mine. So you get there, and I'm gonna have to remember what these guys' names are. So it's Thundrin, Gundren, and Undren, right?
Yeah, sounds familiar.
People just arrived.
What's that? Hey, Mr. Hunter.
Lisa teleported in.
Hey.
Still no Melvin.
Where is that guy?
All right, we can rewind a bit to Silver. So they left Silvery Moon. They went to Neverwinter. They're going to Phandalin, but we can rewind a bit. Yeah, back to Silvery Moon.
I just read the research about the Gill Sands and stuff on the chat here while I was walking down the hall.
Well, that's old news by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gil Sands has a body. It's a dwarven body.
What?
It was the reincarnation spell, or reincarnation spell. He's a dwarf.
Okay. All right.
And Breezy upped his dagger game.
Upped my dagger game and now can once a day conjure small everyday items.
But yeah, Breezy
that's
retained
awesome.
that ability.
Yeah, that was
conjured
key.
I think we'd all agree he earned it.
Yeah, man.
So, Khalifa, you're studying. You're getting back in tune with the order of the book. Were there things you wanted to do around the library?
No, just the things that I listed, and then Thrax or Ariel had mentioned in the chat that we should also research reforging the Sunblade. If there's any way that I can find information that would help Thundrin, Nundrin, and so forth do so. But I assume they know what they're doing if I didn't find anything helpful.
We kind of learned that the thing that made the dwarf forge special was actually minerals there rather than the flame itself. So we think it's likely we're going to have to get a genie to do this. But maybe you can do more in your studies.
Yeah. I will say you research Orcus a bit. What you find is pretty mundane. It's pretty much the mainstream stuff. It's just what's generally known about Orcus. Lord of Undead, likes to have a lot of undead around him. He doesn't like life. You ask the head researchers there, where can I learn more about Orcus? And they say, well, we're supposed to report people who ask questions like that, but since it's you and we know why you're asking, they say if you really want some of the original sources, some of the things that aren't sort of commonly around, we don't have those here. The best place would be the library at Candlekeep, which is a library you'd heard about your whole life.
Yeah.
It's
man.
the continent's library.
It takes forever to get stuff sent over from there. Those guys are so backed up.
Oh, we don't have interlibrary loan. No.
Yeah, it takes forever.
And you're gonna have to go there in person, and you're gonna have to pay the price of admission. The price of admission is you have to give them a book that they don't already have in their collection.
I see.
I don't know if you'd had something like that on your possession.
We still have the Tome of Strahd.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
we
also
have
have
the
that wisdom book.
Strahd, and
That wisdom book that I studied.
that's true.
That
We got a
now
long
is
way to go to get
useless
there.
until for like 100 years or something.
We could just write a book on our way down.
Oh, that's a
The
good
story
idea.
of the octopodemos. I think
Just like a five-page brochure.
You don't have this one.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't seen this yet. Self-published.
There's also the book that I wield, but certainly that I probably wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. All right, we
Okay.
could find a book.
It's south of Baldur's
where
Gate.
is that library?
It's south of Baldur's Gate on a little peninsula.
Oh, deep.
Yeah.
Good research, Breezy. You know your continent.
Well, I'm looking at your map.
You do ask them what you asked Gil Sands about sort of the limitations of the sending spell and why would it not get through to your friend? And the head librarian you ask, as well as everybody else you ask, they all have the same answer. There's one obvious reason the sending spell would not work.
A deity did it.
That is not what they say.
Octopodemos.
Yeah, they say your friend is most likely dead. If the sending spell isn't getting to him, that's what happened. I'm sorry to say that, but the sending spell is very reliable. The only reason it wouldn't get to him is because he's dead.
Well, at least that makes me more confident in my previous research of the spell, and explains that maybe I did know correctly, but okay. I don't know how we're going to find his body either. It seems like his body at least should have been located when we tried to locate Fenthras. Did they say anything about the correlation of the find object also not working?
That only has a range of 1,000 feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's their verdict. Whatever you think of that. What else was there? Oh, and did you say you wanted to look into the cursed amulet?
Yeah. In my research, I haven't found a way to permanently uncurse an item, although we could, remove the curse that attunes it to somebody and binds it to their person. I haven't figured out a way to remove the cursing property from the item to make it generally usable.
Well,
is that a thing?
Well, I mean, who are you asking?
Well, I think there's like a main sage of Silvery Moon, and his name escapes John Hunter.
Okay.
But if he was available, if he's somebody that is accessible to me with my station at the library, or
yeah, he suggests you go talk to one of the temples in town, and given both your bent and your item, he says, I think you'd be most comfortable at the Temple of Ayun, the Knowing Mistress, but any one of the temples in town might help you.
Okay. Well, I can either do that before we leave, or if we've already left to go to Neverwinter, I can do it at a temple in Neverwinter.
We've rewound. So.
And we're rewinding to do your part.
Okay. Yeah. So then I would like to do that if I had enough time. I don't know how long you guys said you stayed there, but I don't want to make it like a week-long process just for Khalifa.
Well, it's like 3 days, and so at the temple they tell you. First of all, they say they spend a few minutes with it. They welcome you. They notice the book you have and that you're one of the honored of Ayun. You ask them about this. I'm going a little fast. You ask them about the amulet. So they take a close look at it. The first thing they can tell you is what the curse is. And I'm putting that. I don't know if you have access to the slides, Hunter.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much everything that was good. It's like except Strahd. So yeah, this would have prevented you from attacking Strahd or taking any hostilities towards Strahd if you'd attend to it.
There it is.
So they tell you what the curse is, and they say if you like, we can cast remove curse on it every day for 10 days in a row, and that should remove the curse. So now you're leaving town, but they off. So I guess the question is, your friends want to leave town in a few days. You want to leave it here for them to do that process on it?
No, I mean, I've researched the same spell. I mean, is there any reason that it wouldn't work if I cast remove curse on it? Are they doing something special?
Well, they sort of roll their eyes and sigh a bit, and they say,
I trust these guys. So I mean, if they're telling me they're doing something better than I, then I'll believe them.
They say it might work. They say it might work. Yeah.
All
so
right.
They'll say it's probably going to work, but they do sort of like roll their eyes at your amateur arcane.
Well, I really appreciate their information, and I want to pay them for their time if possible.
Well, you have 50,000 copper pieces.
So I can give him like 5 or 10 copper pieces if that's
Buy
okay. No, I'm
yourself
just
something
kidding.
nice.
Would a 10 gold tithe to their temple be
Yeah, that's respectful.
respectable?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd like to do that, and then
Eyes.
I'll try to remove the curse on it. And then the other curse was the lycanthropy, and you guys already covered that, right?
Yeah, you touched them for 30 days, but what you missed at the beginning was that the full moon gave them all cramps and body aches and levels of exhaustion.
Okay.
Not unlike food poisoning.
Right.
So it's not a it doesn't just make it all good.
Cool.
They still suffer during the full moon.
All right. We'll have to watch out for that.
Well, I guess do the three of you, or especially Brambrecht, do you want him to cast remove curse on you?
Not now.
Yeah, let's
Not
wait.
now.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Because maybe
Well,
we'll be someplace we can be safely locked up and avoid the hangover.
Cool. Did anyone subtract that 10 gold or not yet?
I did.
Oh, you did. And then I had like a shopping list for some magical components. Is it okay if I subtract like how much is okay to remove from the kitty here? Could I remove like 1,500 gold for magical components and stuff?
Yep.
Absolutely not.
That's what Brambrecht spent on his armor.
I'll
Yeah.
recalculate. I'll make sure I've got the right calculation and I'll remove it later. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again for rewinding. Sorry about that.
Yeah, not a problem.
We did not sell our roughly 25 gold worth of magical components.
Yeah, and I think I might have used that earlier because I did transcribe some stuff.
Okay. We did sell like our jewels and amulets and random things like
I
that.
think we held on to the dragon wang.
Well, let's move forward. Don't let me hold this up any longer.
Okay. So you come to the mine, and outside is your friend Gundren, the one that you knew the longest. He's outside. He's excited to see you. Oh, guys, you're back. What happened to you? Where you been? Come on in. Come underground with us. He hears your story, and what would you like to talk to him about?
Well, we
sword.
did collect a lot of the magical components that he said might be useful in doing some crafting, and then also the sword, as Ariel or somebody just mentioned.
That's right, the magical components. You've got dragon scales, and you've got the forever werewolf. He looks at these, he thinks, oh, I can make things out of these, definitely.
We also have a dragon uvula. I don't know if that's useful.
I talked to a potion maker about that.
The icy thing, yeah.
Is he taking all 7 pounds of dragon scales?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And werewolf fur, he's taking all that?
Werewolf fur. So he says, with these things, here's what I can make you. I can make you a +1 metal weapon, or 20 pieces of +1 ammunition, arrows. Or I can make you so he can make you 3 items. And these 3 items can be a +1 metal weapon, a +1 shield, or a +1 metal armor. So those are the sort of basic recipes that he's figured out.
Who can wear armor besides Brambrecht? Nobody?
I can wear, light armor, but
not metal, not like a breastplate or something like what he's suggesting. Although there's such thing as like a medium breastplate. Does anyone do medium armor, or is that still only Brambrecht? I think he's the only one. I think the rest of us are like leather and cloth and nothing.
And he just maxed out his armor.
yeah, he just spent 1,500 on normal armor.
Yeah. What about a shield, Bram? Would that be useful? Are you still shielding it?
Yeah, I would take an upgraded shield, but if others need things too.
Okay.
Is there anyone who needs a magical weapon? I mean, I guess everyone else has a magical weapon, really.
It could always help me for arrows, but my fire bolts seem to be better and do more damage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems silly to give me a magical dagger since I'm just shooting rainbows all the time.
I mean, maybe Thrax could use a magical javelin or something, but like, he's pretty thrilled with how shiny all of his silver stuff is right now.
Plus, you have a
I believe you
sun
got a
sword, right?
magical javelin last time, didn't you?
And you've got your
Magical?
blade and the sun sword.
That was Neil.
Don't you
Neil got the-
remember?
Neil got the magical
Yeah,
javelin.
didn't
that
it
helped
like?
smell
Couldn't it tell you
cheese.
like where wine was or something? Or is something?
No, just
Oh,
cheese.
cheese.
Sad-
That's right.
Javelin of cheese.
Sadly, you
Javelin.
sadly have to find the
I think
wine on your
Brambrook
own.
should get a shield.
Yeah.
Concur.
Right. One shield, and we're saying 20 plus 1 arrows.
Great.
And is there a third request?
I mean, can he plus
Can he-
one my plate armor that I just got?
Yeah, he looks at it and says, yeah, I can give you, I wouldn't be building the whole armor. I'd be building certain components that fit in there. So, says the problem is it might not vibe with the shield. It might be one or the other. So the plus 1 armor and the plus 1 shield might not stack on each other is the problem.
Well, then we should do something else.
You should do the armor if it's a choice between the two.
Since it's less likely to be ripped out of my hands or something like that.
And if you're using some two-handed weapon,
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
while you think about that a second, this is a little off the wall, but is there something that magical that he could do to my drums and instruments that would make them more, improve the performance, shinier? We were talking about, metal for shields or armor, why couldn't he do something to, spiff up my instruments? It would make them more
assume I'm
effective.
a doctor, not a luthier.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, it's we're smiths here. That's what we do, and the recipes we found from the old mines. This is what we found so far.
What about a couple of what about a sword for Melvin in case somebody steps to him in melee? Like, not that we have Melvin, but in his honor, I
Yeah,
should say.
we don't have a.
Yeah.
But he does have a sword, I think. I also have I have these darts, these ranged darts that are pretty crappy. I could use some help on a ranged weapon, I guess. Can they do
Ooh,
anything?
that's a good thought.
My
yeah.
shuriken throwing stars.
Okay. Yeah. He checks out how they're made and what they are and how exactly you like them. He says, yeah, I can reproduce these, no problem. I can give you 20 plus 1s of these. Yeah.
Cool. I would take that. Then it'll be a 1d4 plus 6.
And more likely to hit.
Oh yeah, and a plus 9. Nice.
How many times have you used that so far?
He's
Like
used them.
twice. But mostly because they're so crappy. If they were plus
enough.
1, they would be a
They're-
little bit more tempting.
Fair enough.
What did you decide to add it to?
Oh, my shurikens, my throwing stars.
Do I need to leave?
And then
my-
you're asking about this sword too, and you tell him the whole story of the sword.
Oh, yes.
And he says, sort of what you'd already gotten an indication of. He says, this forge is as fine a forge as I have ever seen, but it is just a normal forge. The magic from the mines comes from the minerals that we mine in here. So I'll give it a shot to reforging the sword if you want. But if you were told by some magical item that only elemental fire will reforge this, then I don't think it's going to work. But I'm happy to try. So he can give it. He can spend a couple hours working on it. But the result is preordained.
That's
So
numbers.
The metal does not even melt. He's amazed at how it sucks up the heat and doesn't melt.
Interesting.
But he thinks the cool glowing sun sword is pretty awesome and likes the story about the fire genie. He asked to hear that several times.
Yeah, you should try and figure out the recipe for one of these.
Maybe he will. It's inspiring him. It's like I hadn't thought about that. I just thought of like, plus whatever weapons, but this is inspiring me to be a little bit creative. Thank you for this.
So
Right.
they haven't had any other issues with denizens from lower down in the mines coming up or anything else that has troubled them in reestablishing business here as usual?
He says, "Oh, there's the giant spiders and there's the oozes and we saw a rust monster. That was sort of scary because we don't want to destroy our equipment. But
Oh yeah.
aside from the sort of indigenous critters, we can handle those and nothing more threatening than that."
Excellent. Do we have time for me to rifle through your library again, since it was pretty impressive and I didn't have time before?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. It's all pretty old books. What are you looking for specifically?
Well, so I think the things that I'm most interested in are green dragons, which I think we might have looked up before and I didn't see anything, or looked for before, but then now more information on Orcus and cults of Orcus and things like that.
This was a working mine. There's nothing about cults of Orcus, and dragons is certainly less than you found in Silvery Moon.
Okay.
Silvery Moon was sort of what you knew before. They're smart. They're contemptuous of other beings.
Worth double checking.
Yeah.
Well, that was worth the trip. How long will it take to make that new armor or to improve that armor and stuff?
He says, you come back here, it'll take me probably a day for each of these. So come back tomorrow. I'll have, which one should I do first? The armor?
Sure.
Yeah, come back tomorrow. I'll have the armor. The day after that, I'll have these throwing stars. And the day after that, I'll have the arrows.
Okay, I'm going armor free for the day then.
No, you're not. He's making certain components that you'll add to the armor
okay.
when you come back.
All right.
Nice.
Because that's totally how it works.
So should we just head for the tree at this point, or do you guys want to wait for 3 days?
Oh, we can pick it up on the way back.
Yeah, let's go to the tree.
I like it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So you're heading toward, you follow the map. You're heading sort of up into a mountain pass.
I'm sure we
And
left word that we were with
Yeah.
all breadcrumbs along the way for Melvin, should he want
Yes.
to join us.
Every place you stopped, yes.
Well, we'll be back in 3 days.
You're heading through a mountain pass. It's sort of it's going to be up on the mountain and sort of into a cave is what it appears to be. As you're going up and you think you're getting near your destination, out from a hidden outcropping, this huge ogre jumps out with this big club and just roars at all of you. And this thing is enormous, not quite as tall as the Etten, but it's big. And it roars. And as you're all getting ready to roll initiative, from behind you, there's this flash of light. And you only see it, reflected off the things, but it apparently blinds the ogre because the ogre covers its eyes and as it does, then an arrow hits the ogre right in its throat, and the arrow explodes in a blinding flash of radiant energy, and the head just explodes, and the ogre falls down.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Well, I turned around to see where that came from.
Yeah, same here.
Radiant energy, that's my thing.
What do we see behind us, Jay?
What do they see behind them?
Well, they see Melvin.
What the hell?
The wizard in white.
But he doesn't look different to the naked eye.
Wait, he's naked?
to the
Where have
naked
you been?
eye. Your eye is naked.
Oh, okay.
Sir.
Sure.
He said, "Hail, fellows, and well met." But you know, not necessarily in that way. Says, "Hey guys."
Where have you been? We looked all over for you.
We even talked to some plants.
We talked to a tree.
So here's the weird thing. The wild mother, Melora, the one who fashioned my bow,
Yes.
she called me,
Oh.
and I went. I'm sorry I didn't tell anybody, but I just had this compulsion.
Yeah.
And I went into the forest, and I don't really understand what happened, but at some point I stopped being in the forest, and I was with the wild mother Melora, and I don't know whether she took me to her plane or what, but she told me she had a message for me that I was her. I'm not like her anointed champion, but she asked me to bear her standard in this world against the undead. She said that our struggles against Strahd in Barovia demonstrated that we needed someone to strive against this corruption of the world that the undead represent. And she asked me to be that. And she touched me, not in that way, Dave. and told me that I was no longer just a ranger, but that I was to be her cleric in this world.
Ooh.
And she gave me this, you know, she gave Fenthras back. Something happened with it and me, and I just can't describe it, but it's now this holy symbol for her, more than just my bow. And so I have this mission from her of destroying the undead. And you know, somebody said, what are you going to do when you're out of the revenge business? And I've got a new mission.
Well, that's something. Would have been nice to give us a little, hey, I'm going to be gone and you're not going to see me. And so but you know.
It sounds like Melora made the decision, not Melvin. So, I mean, I don't know how he would have had time to do so.
I should have, I don't know. I just, when I was leaving, I just had this compulsion that told me what to do.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes, and you were missed at the celebratory feast. There is a small token from the city of Silvery Moon in this medallion, which bears the crest of Silvery Moon. And you know, among the trophies that we've collected in our travels together, it's maybe not the most valuable, but it's at least something that the city could do.
Melvin, with your new standard bearing, is there anything that we need to know? I mean, that was a pretty impressive entrance. You know, did you pick up any new tricks?
So
I just looked at his character sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Metagaming slightly. I'm now a level 4 ranger. So we took a number of the levels off of ranger and just transferred them to cleric.
So you're a ranger and a cleric at the same time.
Ranger and a cleric.
Okay, what does that mean?
So I've got all of these nifty light. I'm a cleric of the domain of light, because that's the one that Melora told me would be the most effective for her in combating the undead. And so I've got, basically the cleric stuff plus, I still have Fentress, and it's now not just my weapon, but it's the way I wield the will of Melora into the world.
It's like your holy symbol, basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
So dual classed.
Well, Janae says goodbye.
Yeah, I got over her like decades ago. It's fun.
She wandered off to Baldur's Gate to go to school. Or
Isn't she
wherever.
a little old for that?
Still looks the same.
Oh man.
By the way, Hunter, we did get your medal from Janae.
Good.
I was gonna ask, wait, all of these medallions, I mean, I noticed that everybody else, Khalifa, where's yours?
Khalifa has one.
He has
got
one.
it back for you.
Oh,
I don't wear it, but it's here in this bag. Jay, did I find a handy haversack to buy too? I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, sure. You
Okay.
bought a handy haversack.
How much are those?
I'll have to look it up.
I can look it up. I can look it up later. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt.
I think it's like an uncommon item, so whatever the standard price of those are.
Yeah, I'll find it.
So yeah, y'all are all level 9. So Melvin is 4 levels of ranger and 5 levels of cleric. And just again to metagame, multi-classing isn't something I would want to do lightly, but we talked through this and why it fits with this character, and as you saw, it was a big deal. So it's not just something where, oh, next level I'll take a level in sorcerer. No, it's
yeah, I'm not going to be taking levels in ranger again. So we've frozen where he's progressed to in that.
Ah, okay.
Well, that means, we should talk about that offline.
As the children pick up all of their clean laundry that I've left.
So
They're
I'm not
multi-classed
encouraging
children.
multi-classing for people, but we can talk if you think it really fits your character and fits the story.
But I think, that means that Melvin presumably can pick up some of the healing from Ariel, kind of, I would assume.
Probably so.
When he's not throwing fireballs. So
Sweet.
somebody in your team can now throw fireballs. Isn't that good?
What?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my father sure would have been proud of you.
That's pretty awesome.
At least you had a
Never mind. Don't waste your spell slots on healing.
But who will track through the woods for us now?
I can still fail at survival checks.
I can still roll those ones.
Okay, so if the reunion is
Nice entrance.
finishing up,
Anybody need any ogre parts?
only below the neck.
We should check the ogre though. Anything good on the ogre?
Oh yeah, let's loot them.
Pretty
Pretty
empty pockets.
Yeah, he had a sack with 2 dead squirrels and some really, really nice rocks. Some these are like, one of them was shiny, one of them was rough.
Well, let's take the shiny one, guys.
Yeah.
Put that in the bag of holding.
And a big root of some sort. You don't know what it is. It doesn't look edible, but it's got a lot of ogre teeth marks in it. So maybe it's just just gnawing on.
I bet if we stew that all up together,
Be delicious.
squirrel stone soup, man.
Sounds like a Breath of the Wild recipe.
Well, Melvin, can your tracking help us locate this tree?
I don't know. Let's see.
I just spent the night with the tree goddess.
So yeah, the map says you're pretty close, and yeah, Melvin does pick up on a path, and it's just another 2 miles on, and you do find a door. It's sort of a stone door cut into the stone wall of the mountain.
Jay, are we at the Sword Mountains? I'm looking on the Phandalin area map.
Yes. I don't know. Yes.
Near the Crypt Garden Forest.
All of that. Let me see.
Ultra.
Yeah, what is Sword Mountains? Is that what it says?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're in there.
just southeast of the mine.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
More east than south, like sort of directly east, actually,
Directly east. All right, cool.
where the U is in mountains.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
All
All right. So you see this big stone door.
Oh,
Does it say
Oh.
speak friend and enter?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah. Belloc.
Medlock.
No, it's pretty solid. In fact, if one of the stronger ones push on it, it's pretty intact.
even with the 25?
Yeah, Thrax, what's your strength now?
You rolled a 25 strength, Brambrack?
I rolled an 18 plus, actually plus 9.
All right. So you bang against it, and it moves about an inch. It moves in, and you made some progress. And you hear from the inside, "Hey, who's there? Go away! What you
Open
doing
up.
here?" What'd you say?
I said, open up.
Open up! Fuck off! Fuck off! You're open up.
There's no call for that kind of language.
Why are you here?
Looking for a tree.
Looking for a sister. A woman who may have passed this way some weeks ago.
You're looking for the woman, the cleric?
Yes.
Oh,
The same.
then fuck all the way off and go die and fuck yourself. And the
Right.
door sort of slams shut. The inch that you'd open it closes, slams shut.
All right, Thrax rolled a 23 for a shove.
Okay, all right, and you shove it, and it opens like it's like 2 inches now. You made some significant progress, and you're hearing a couple voices behind the multiple voices behind the door.
Max, throw that unmovable rod in there.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, so he can't close it again? Okay.
Yeah, so you can't
All right.
close it again. And then
right.
don't we have a really long sword we could use as a lever?
We have an unbreakable arrow.
No, we've got that
So you do
giant
that?
sword.
Don't we have that
Oh,
giant
sure.
sword? It's a really long lever. Now that it's open a little bit, we
Right,
got
so do
the
that.
rod
You
there.
hear them
Advantage
try
for the
to
win.
they try to slam on the door, but it doesn't close. And all right, you got the 18-foot. Okay, so yeah, give me a Thrax. Give me a strength check with advantage and add a D4 for
And
the
multiply by 18.
Oh, yes,
Pretty
multiply
much.
by 18.
Strength check with
Uh,
mechanical advantage.
Exactly.
26.
Okay.
Damn.
All right, you do, and it pops open, and it's sort of dark in there, but you can all see there's sort of a semicircle of guys standing there. They're all drow apparently, and in the middle is one with like a little pirate's hat with a feather coming off, and he says, "I apologize for my friend. He is so uncouth. I apologize. My name is Jarlaxle. We are the company of Bregan Darth. Now, I apologize for his behavior. We're all professionals here. Now, this is a bit of an awkward situation. We're all professionals. Fighting and violence and killing each other, that is not profitable for any of us. Now, it's a bit of an awkward situation. It appears we're both on the same job. We've both taken the same assignment. However, I must say, we arrived here first. We have claim on rescuing the young cleric. We have been promised payment for this job. We have made progress so far. We will be receiving that payment. We'll be finishing this job. I apologize for any awkwardness, especially for my rude friend.
How much were you offered to be paid?
And by whom?
We took the job from her temple,
Mm.
and the offer was actually of cleric services, not cash.
Mm,
So
What kind of services?
You know,
I
Because we
Were there
got a
any,
cleric, you know.
Yeah.
Were there any sub quests?
very high level services.
Were there any sub quests beyond simply seeking her out that were mentioned to you in your commission?
Absolutely not. We were told to
Excellent.
retain the damsel, bring her back, and they would perform the spell that we asked, free of charge.
Excellent. Well, then I think that we will not be at odds, because all we care about is seeking her safe return. However, we are here in for a different mission, and so I think we can work concurrently and perhaps help one another. And we can even help you return the damsel, and you can reclaim the reward for returning her to her temple.
which we have no interest in.
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm good at that.
Yeah, well, so you weren't talking.
Damn
At
it.
least it was-
It's a +0. I got a 15.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay. He says, "You're not here on a commission. You're surely mercenaries, right? You're not here on a commission."
just looking for a friend.
It says,
Yeah,
"Okay."
She was doing some research to help us, and so we just felt obligated to seek her out because we thought she was lost looking for something to help us.
Well, isn't that so nice of you? And as you look around this group, as I said, they all appear to be drow males. The guy in front is sort of dressed almost very flamboyantly, almost like a pirate. So I'll describe the group if you give me a second. The guy next to him has 2 daggers and what appear to be vials of poison all over his belt. Next to him is a guy who's completely covered in armor. I mean, Brambrick, he's putting you to shame. Even his face is covered with like a faceplate of armor. He's like, you might call him a man of iron, if you will. He's completely in armor. Next to him is a drow man with a large maul, a large hammer type thing. He's got heavy armor on him that all have moon imagery all over the armor. Next to him, what's that?
Blonde hair?
No, white hair. He's a drow.
Right.
Yeah, no, good question. Good question. Next to him is a guy in robes, arcane robes. They have a smoke motif. On the other side is what appears to be a bard. This guy has a fiddle at hand rather than a weapon. Next to him is an archer with a hawk on his shoulder. The last person you see is perhaps the guy he was gesturing, is the guy who was so rude to you through the door. And he's like a large man, and for an elf, for a drow, you've never seen such bushy sideburns, and they sort of go down his face, and they also sort of go up to little points. Like he's got very dramatic sideburns. And also with them is a extremely large panther, not unlike Guinevere, but not Guinevere. So that's the group you're looking at, and so Jarlaxle says, "I think that sounds great. In fact, we wouldn't want to get in your way. We might just step aside and let you go rescue the damsel. I think that sounds wonderful, and then we'll get the payment, and everybody will be happy." I love that plan.
Oh, that's not the deal that was proposed. I think.
What was the proposal? Can you clarify?
Well, I think we'll let you find and rescue her. We'll even help you find and rescue her.
Pool abilities and pool resources, right, Khalifa?
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
With a small subcontracting fee, perhaps at the end. Who knows?
I think that what the items that we seek along this mission will be sufficient payment if we are able to.
Oh, there's more stuff down there?
Well, she was.
Oh, there's more valuable stuff down there. Oh.
Value is in the eye of the beholder. I think we're not talking value as in like gold and gems. We're talking in value for
Friendship.
some interesting fruit that would help with my research.
Oh, so things that would be valuable to an arcane caster. Ah, interesting. He turns to the one with the robes. Oh, there might be something valuable for you down there. Okay, okay.
Only if you have friends that are afflicted with lycanthropy.
And he sort of looks around. Which friends are those? Are they nearby?
Which friends it is not as important. Although, looking at your furry-faced friend over there, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little something in his blood. But that's neither here nor there.
You're not the first one to suggest that. No, no. I wouldn't be surprised by that either. But
There's socks. You should.
okay,
Excellent.
so they're cautious to you.
Now, is this like a cave that's one room, or is this the beginning of a passageway?
It's sort of a circular room, and it's the beginning of. It's got a couple doors leading off of it.
Well, I say we start opening doors.
There's no coffee, so might as well.
He says, "Well, I'll tell you what we found in here."
That's what
So
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
tell you what we found. We found some. There are some ogres in here, and there were some very terrified goblins. And we saved some of the goblins. Apparently, they used to. Apparently, this was their cave for a while, and they lived here for a while. But just recently, just in the past month or so, these ogres moved in and kicked them out and took some of them as slaves and killed some of them, and the other ones hid from them. And what they say is that the ogres, so sort of this level of the caves, we've got about half of it. The ogres have the other half. And we've been sort of wanting to wait them out because there are a couple ways to get in there, and they're pretty strong. And we're very strong too, but only so many resources we can expend fighting ogres. Don't want to lose another member.
Ooh.
And so that's why we've been waiting them out and planning.
What led you to think that your quarry is through here?
I say, the goblins confirmed it. So we tracked her here, and the goblins confirmed that yes, a young woman in armor came through a couple weeks ago and was taken by the ogres and led down in their area somewhere. So
Brambrick, how do you feel about ogres?
So we think she's down there.
Is there more than one entrance?
We've established sort of a our territory, and there are two ways to get from our territory into where the ogres are. Yes.
Well, perhaps I can propose a dual-pronged assault. Brambrick, you're a man of strategy. Do you think that if these respectful drow could draw us a map of the area we're assaulting, that we could formulate a good assault plan?
I'm sure we could assault, but I'm not sure I trust the drow.
Yeah, well,
They say all we're interested in is rescuing the girl and getting our payment. That's non-negotiable. We need this payment.
Also, maybe we could negotiate with the ogres. We have this sack with the squirrel and the rocks and
that stick. That stick that they chewed on.
They sort of laugh. They like, we like you, wood guy. Are you part elf? You look like you're part elf.
I'm elfish.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Yeah, let's go see what the ogres have to say for themselves.
Just go straight in.
All right. Well, I mean, I can already tell you that's where tonight's session is going to end. I don't know if there's anything else you want to do or explore or discuss?
Or we should at least see their map.
What's that?
Should at least see their map.
Oh, they don't have a map. They just they tracked her. I ask me in a week how they tracked her. It was very clever.
It was very clever.
How many were there, Jay? You said
There were 9.
9 of them.
So this is like a
Well,
natural
counting
cavern.
the panther. What's that?
So this is a natural cavern, not a not.
Oh no,
a,
no. It's
mine.
actually I should have clarified that. It's it's a dungeon, and it's got lots of sort of dragon iconography all over it.
Okay.
Is it a dragon we recognize?
This was May. It's sort of generic dragons.
Would you say that the panther's color was dark gray?
Maybe more towards black.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Just being cheeky.
Okay. Any other discussions you want to have with them? I mean, this is sort of where we'll pick up next time. Oh, and speaking of next time, there was at least one request to say, do we want to do this every other week instead of every week? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people think.
I prefer every week.
My only
Sorry,
issue is
what was the request, Jay?
A question of, do we want to do this every other week versus every week?
Is the DM asking?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can I out the player who asks?
Well, if in my mind, it's a different question. If you're saying, hey, I need 2 weeks to prep stuff for you guys to do, then otherwise.
Yeah, no, it was just me. I put that on the survey because that was my yeah, no, that would just be easier for me. But if everybody else is in for every week, then I can do that. And I might miss one here or there, but that should work.
I'm okay with every week.
Is Sunday night difficult for you in particular, Dave? Or like, should we ask about other nights or?
No, I think it's probably the best night overall. Would a different night be better? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I think we all decided as a group that Sundays were best, and we've been doing that. So I think that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I might speak up at some point and say I need another week to prepare.
I mean, you're always welcome to do that, of course. Like,
like what would the alternative be?
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
we're going to proceed.
Like, for example, I mean, given the fact that you've had a tough week, if you had bailed, I would not have held it against you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh no, in fact, if anything, my work suffered. I was thinking of working half time this week, but I worked sort of not at all. But sitting there with my mother-in-law watching nature documentaries gave me lots of time to plan out this group of drow, for example. Each one of those, and I at the beginning of the week I didn't know what was going to be. I have a map, but I didn't know what was going to be in the cave, and so I got a lot of time to think about, what's going to be in this dungeon? What are they going to face? So that actually worked quite well.
A group of friendly drow.
But yeah, we watched a lot of nature documentaries together, and the animals mating really made me feel awkward every time. In fact, at one point there were wolves mating, and she's like, "That's one man wolf and one woman wolf," and I was like, "Yes, yes, it is."
It's a He-Man wolf.
Well,
I don't trust
I
these
put-
drow at
I
all.
put-
I'll tell you that much.
I put descriptions of them in the slides. the
Oh,
PowerPoint.
nice.
I've got names I came up with at the last minute too. I might add those. But you haven't asked, which is kind of rude.
Saying that you're
Dark-skinned panther, Thror.
Wait, I don't see it. Where is it?
Oh,
Yeah, where is
I
it?
wasn't even thinking that.
I made those up.
Yeah, where's the?
Yeah, I don't see him.
In yet.
Am I wrong?
I
Did
don't
I,
see
I did not copy it over. I didn't copy. I guess I didn't copy it over. Okay, sorry.
the Orcus though.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
Orcus.
No,
Learning all
you
kinds
know
of
what?
stuff
I
about
didn't copy it
Orcus.
over because I wanted you to have to listen to all my descriptions.
Okay.
So there.
But will you copy over now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Ah, it's there. Good. Joke's on you. We didn't listen at all. Haha.
Hey, why does the awakened whisper appear in your opposite hand?
Well, if he wants to throw it again.
So then he can have an offhand attack. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, he can throw it with his right hand and then throw it with his left hand.
Sweet.
No,
Oh, it's not
he
even a
can't
bonus action. I
sort of
see.
hide.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it would be it would be a bonus action. It'd be like stabbing with your right hand and your left hand. So yeah, it would be a bonus action.
I didn't
No, but I mean, like
understand that.
the recall is not like a separate action. It's just like instant poof.
Yeah.
I did not.
I don't know, probably
understand
overthinking it.
what that allowed for.
So what's the bard? Who's the bard with the fiddle?
It's a bard with a fiddle.
We don't know any of their names aside from Jarlaxle.
I'm just wondering.
Oh no, these are not supposed to be the Avenger. No, so I was just trying to fill out 9 so that they'd outnumber you. And I realized that I don't know anything about artificers. And so I talked to May and she suggested I do an armorer artificer. Boy. So I got excited about this armorer artificer and put it together. And yeah, they're sort of like Iron Man. But no, it's not supposed to be.
And then you have the hammer wielding Thor, and then you have
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then we have Hawkeye, right?
Hawkeye.
And you have Doctor Strange.
And Wolverine and
Oh my
Doctor Strange.
gosh.
Black
Oh my
Panther.
gosh.
That's why I was
Okay.
saying. That's why I was saying about the Panther being
Dark. Yes.
Black Panther, and then
Yeah, I mean,
This was not intentional. And I guess you got Black Widow there.
I assume the second one is Black Widow, and I thought it was a play on Captain America because he had the pirate's hat like a captain.
Wonderful. And yeah, the Wolverine thing was obviously intentional.
there's-
Obviously, I was going for Wolverine, and he's even the Tasha's barbarian that has claws that pop out of his claws. So yeah, I was going for
Oh,
Wolverine
nice.
there, but that
but
was
it's
not.
really only the bard that I don't know, right? So,
Yeah, that's pretty clearly the devil that went down to Georgia.
Exactly.
which Avenger is that?
Wow. Okay. No, hey, interpretation of art. Great.
I really thought you were doing a thing.
Yeah,
I
so
did.
did
I
I.
thought. So did I. So did I. So did I.
No, and it's
Beautiful.
Hunter can tell you traditionally, not in this edition, but traditionally in D&D, clerics weren't supposed to use bladed weapons. They're supposed to just use blunt weapons.
Right, yeah.
So that's why he has got a big maul and he's got an armor because he's that kind of badass cleric.
You just made such a point of saying like some kind of Iron Man.
Well, because obviously I can't say the words armor or artificer, nor did I want to lay it out that way. I just thought that was funny. Okay. All right. I like it. Let's go with it.
Cool.
Yeah, and
And the Panther thing wasn't intended. The Panther was, well, I mean, you can guess or not guess, but I mean, he's a druid, obviously. As far as why he's a Panther, perhaps you can guess.
We'll just kill him anyway.
Exactly.
We don't need this whole story.
I gotta run, but this was a great session, Jay.
Well, a lot of talking, so I hope you think so.
Hey, Jay, there was a question raised whether Thrax can use the bracers of defense at the
You got it.
time as. Oh, you did. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I was stumped, so I said yes.
Cool.
The best kind of DM.
That's right.
all right.
But,
All right.
no, I like this. I like the interpretation of the Bregandarth. All right, and there will be more fighting next, unless you don't want there to be. But
There
I
doesn't
would
always have to
predict
be
there's going to be
fighting.
more fighting.
Well, I think there
We're
are
really close
ogres.
to going straight into fighting.
There are ogres to
You'll
do
get to
this,
see
so.
your new light cleric in action.
I mean, he had a very dramatic entrance.
Yeah, it was good.
So Hunter, I'm recording this so you can see the first hour or so
I see that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Right.
All right.
Good night. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Cool.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.